Hello, it's Matthew from Matthew North Music here again. Today's video is going to be a kind of a bit of a mishmash really. Now, a friend of mine contacted me a few weeks ago to tell me he's given up. And whenever anyone says they've given up on anything, it's always a bit sad. And what he said he's given up on is the desire to build some electronics. And basically what he'd done over lockdown, acquired a load of bits and pieces and had the idea that he would build some effects pedals. And he kind of gave up on the idea. So he said to me, would I be interested in purchasing his collection of bits? And of course I said yes. And what we've got is here. Big crate of stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little look through, see what we've got, because I would envisage that a fair proportion of this will probably end up in future videos. I'm guessing really this is a kind of an unboxing video, and the first thing I've pulled out the crate is actually in a box. So let's open this up and see what we've got in here. And we've got 3 of the mini size pedal enclosures. So these things are always useful for obviously building mini pedals, of which I've not built too many, but I dare say there will be more at some point in the future. Now, a lot of his bits are in these kind of foldery things, so we'll just tip all this out and see what we've got. And we've got some paperwork. Oh, we've got some stripboard layout diagrams. Look for building things. I don't know what this is going to be. Ooh, that looks like colour range rate. That looks like some sort of chorus pedal by the look of it. So I'm guessing these are printouts to do with some of the PCBs that are probably going to be around. So all paperwork, I think I'll just keep to one side so I don't lose any of it. And again, there's a bill of materials here for something. But I'm wondering if this is all related to one project. And what we've got here, well, we've got some ICs in there. I'm not sure what they are. I'm going to get my magnifying glass. I'm guessing they're all going to be the same, and they are TLO72s, so fairly standard op amp that's used in everything, and they're always handy, so that's good. Right, we've got some capacitors here. eBay's removed refunding facilities. Oh well. 0.68 microfarad, so 680 nanofarad. That's quite handy actually. I haven't got any of those, so that's good. What's this? Triad Magnetic TY141. Not sure what that is. I'll look it up later. I'm sure someone watching this will know. Got another chip here. LM567N. Again, that's probably some sort of amplifier. Jack socket. We've got some capacitors here. Does it say what they are? No. Anyway, they're tantalums of some description. Again, can't see the values that clearly because it's reflecting in the bag, but anyway, they're capacitors. More bits of paperwork here. Again, I'm going to stick all this in this pouch. More capacitors. And we've got some more chips here. Let's see what these are. Again, could be anything. TC1044. No idea what that is. Again, someone watching this is probably going to know what every single chip is that I'm naming here. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not that knowledgeable. One last chip. TLC27M2CP. Again, don't know what that is, but I'm guessing these are specific to a certain project. But anyway, I will sort all these out and they will all be going into my various IC holders. There's some more in here even. Well, the other ones are just, I think the ones I just looked at. And we've got some resistors here. These are 3 watt 27k resistors. So they're nice chunky resistors. Not a lot of use for 27k 3 watters, but nevertheless they'll probably go into stock. What's this here? 540 ohm resistor. I don't know what value that is. That's probably 3 watt again. Maybe it's even 5 watt. I don't know. That might be useful in an amp one day. And then there's a 470 microfarad capacitor. Okay, next packet. Let's have a look at what's in here. And in here we've got jack sockets. Well, jack sockets are always handy. There's one here, in fact. I'm just going to pop that back in. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 6 foot switches. Well, these are always handy. I'm always buying these because, I mean, they're the base of any effects pedal. So that's nice to get. We've got some 39k resistors here. We've got some more resistors there. We've got, oh, that's interesting. Now, I don't know if you've seen this. This is basically like a modular reverb unit. It's basically a reverb circuit in a block. And I have seen these, but I've never actually owned one. So, yeah, that will be the source of a reverb pedal that I will definitely build at some point. What we've got here, a 1 meg C-wound pot. Again, pots are always handy. I think there's going to be a few potentiometers, so I might actually just stick them all in there so that they're all together. There's some more pots here. These are 100k pots, type A. So A is, I think A is log, B is lin, or the other way around. Anyway, they're pots. We've got some diodes here. What are they? 1N400? No, they're 1N51B1. Oh, I can't bloody read that. Anyway, they're. Oh, right, we've got a random machine head here, which would be for a. Looks similar to what you'd find on a Les Paul or indeed a Gretsch. I wonder if there's the rest of them are here. Who knows? Some ceramic capacitors here, because it's got the number written on it. 47. Ooh. So is that 470 nanofarad? Probably, I don't know. Right, we've got some more pots here with the nuts loose on that one. These are 100k and 10k. It's a weird layout. Anyway, I think go in there with the other pots. Rubber feet. Feet are good. Feet are handy. You always need rubber feet. And there's some guitar pot knobs there. That's quite nice. Again, I think there'll be some other knobs, so I'm going to keep them to one side. And some more resistors. If I can put the resistors there. Little switches, little mini toggle switches there. They're teeny toggles, but you know, switches are switches. More capacitors here. There's another bit of a pot. And what we got in here, this is like a little bag of something or other. And what have we got here? Because it's all sealed up. Very well sealed, actually. I might have to get some scissors and cut the top open. So I have absolutely no idea what's in here. As long as it doesn't have Novichok or something horrible. That was a bad joke, by the way. And we've got a chip. It's a chip, as I thought it probably would have been. Wrapped up in lots of plastic, and it is a TLC27M4AN 61A463. I've got no idea what that is. No idea at all. But again, it will go into my assortment of chips once I've worked out what it is. LEDs, always handy. So that's that bag done and dusted. Another pedal box. These are the ones I use the most because I'm not that great at metalwork and I always make mistakes on the smaller ones. So if I stick them in bigger boxes, there's more space. But that's actually not a very clever thing to do because you're spending more money on boxes that you don't need to do. But pedal boxes are always handy. And there's another one there as well. So that's 2 big pedal boxes and 3 little ones so far. Now, we have here an assorted collection of tantalum, or is it ceramic, sorry, yeah, ceramic capacitors in different values. They're always handy. And this is a nice little selection of capacitors here as well, which go from 10 picofarads to 100 nanofarads. So again, very useful parts to have. Right, we've got some circuit boards here. This one is a little red board. I don't know what the kit is for, but I'm PCB Mania. And interestingly, it's got a slot there for putting the foot switch in, as well as I'm guessing there's knobs here. They're the ones that have the grounding plate on the side, and then they're wired in there. So I don't know what this is for, but I'll look it up. It's got some Death by Flaming Ring, or maybe it's a ring modulator. Maybe it's a ring modulator, I don't know. But anyway, that's a PCB for that. And then there's an envelope here. Oh, we've got those funny little PCBs. You may have seen these. These are basically PCBs designed to go with this type of foot switch. So the foot switch solders in, and then you can just take the wires out. It's, you know, some think of it as a neater way of connecting a foot switch. It also means you can use a ribbon cable to go from the foot switch to the PCB of your project. So yeah, that's quite useful. I've got a funny feeling there might be some more of these actually as we go along. So I put some PCBs over here. Next bag of stuff. Let's tip this out and see what we've got. And oh, some bits are falling on the floor. Okay, there's a pot. C100K, it goes in the pots bag. And we've got a little plastic bag here with what looks like nothing's in it, 'cause it's supposed to have resistors in it, and it doesn't. So that can go with the rubbish. Then we've got more capacitors. You certainly like buying these big blue capacitors. There's about the 4th bag of them. And there we've got some DC connectors. They're always handy. Especially these ones. These are quite neat and tidy, actually, nice and compact. Interestingly, they don't have the 3rd lug, so they're only really of any use for pedals where you're only going to power them off DC, which the ones that you make in the small pedal box, they'd be fine because you've got no room for a battery in there. A bit more paperwork. That's a jiffy bag. I don't know what's written there. Nothing. Some more switches. Double pole, double throw. These are quite nice. Nice chunky switches there. Again, they're always handy. Some more jack sockets here. These are single pole, so they're more what you'd have on your sort of guitar or just for basic input output, where you don't need to do any switching. I might just pop those in here for now, because the ones here are oh, they're single pole as well, so I'm sticking them all together. More pots. More resistors. So again, all the resistors I'm just going to stick in a pile together, and we'll sort those out as time goes on. Yeah, there's some more of these little PCBs that we use for the pedals, so I'm going to stick all of those together. And there's more capacitors that I'll stick over here with the other capacitors. Even more of these chunky blue capacitors. What is it with chunky blue capacitors? Right, in here, there's something very tiny. There's a transistor in there. I have no idea what value that is, but there is a transistor. Now, these are the sort of the lower value capacitors that I normally use. I usually use these sort of green looking ones because I just quite like them. And there's some more here. No idea what the value is, but then again, I'll look them up later. Okay, I'm just going to turn this over because it had an address written on it, which I've meticulously edited out of the video. And there's another printed circuit board. Now, this is a circuit board, PCB Mania Echo Nightmare. So this is an Echo pedal. And looking at the IC there, I'm guessing, there's 2 ICs, I'm guessing this is probably using the PC2399 Echo chip. Now, I've tried building a pedal with one of those chips recently, and it hasn't gone too well. This one looks a lot nicer, and I think this will probably be a project I'm likely to put together in the next couple of weeks. In fact, that might even be my next project. I might even build that this afternoon. Well, we'll see how we go, but that could be a fun thing to do because I've not built a digital delay pedal that's worked yet. I've only built an analog delay pedal. So yeah, I'll keep that to one side with the other PCBs. More rubbish. There's another bit of paperwork there that I will then look into. Right, what we got here. It's always nice when you've got the paperwork that actually goes with the chips. I'm going to look at this on one side, and in there is a MC33172 op amp in there. And you can see it's an 8-pin DIL package, so I'm going to stick that over there. And we've got another bit of paper here, which is LM78L05. So that's that was that little thing that looked like a transistor, and I think that's what this thing here. So that's probably what's in there. So I'm going to keep that paperwork with it, and then I'll know. More pots. Oh, these are nice. These look slightly different. Oh no, they're A1 meg pots. Okay. Certainly not going to need any more pots in a hurry. What's this then? This is a TC1044SCPA. Have no idea what that chip is at all. Oh, this is handy. Look at this, right? This is a piece of paper that basically tells you what size drills you need for putting jacks and things in the pedal. Now, you know what? I'm forever always measuring them and then drilling the hole. You'd think I'd have learnt this stuff by now, but I haven't. So that's quite neat, and keep that with the paperwork. Right, what's this? That's a little bag, and I got a feeling I know what that might be. I don't know. And this is a bit of old cable tie trim by the look of it. Am I likely to need that? Probably not. Okay, right, here we have a part of one of those stands for putting a printed circuit board in. So you've got this, you plonk that in there, you stick that in there, you do it up, and then you work it on your desk. I haven't got it tightened up, but you get the idea, and then you can flick it around the other side. Really useful tool. It should have some legs to go with it, and I'm guessing they're probably here somewhere. So pop that out of the way, and we'll see when we find it. And we've got another bag of stuff. We've actually got some little drawers here. There's a lot of stuff in here, actually. Lots and lots of stuff. So I'm going to do this bit by bit. And, right, what we got here, we've got capacitors, lots of them. More rubber feet too. Rubber feet, capacitors, diodes, and more diodes. Look at these. These are big diodes, they are. I don't know what he was planning on building, but maybe he's planning on building a 10 amp power supply. But yeah, chunky bits and bobs there. So they're all good. They can go over here. They will all be decanted into my parts bin. And in here, more capacitors. I think this might have come in one of these capacitor multi-boxes from Amazon, because I have bought, I think, the same capacitor multi-box. So yeah, I've got loads of these as well, and I'll stick them in that drawer with all those other capacitors. Now in here, we've got what looks like a job lot of transistors. Now, can I read the number through the bag? Not a hope in hell. Not a hope in hell. God knows what they are. They're probably BC107 equivalents or something like that. More electrolytics. More electrolytics. More of these little capacitors. Now, that is a very cheap valve base. And there is a very cheap phono socket. I know exactly what this is from, and I shall show you. In fact, it's all here. It's all here. It's one of these kits. As you can see in there, we've got, are there any valves in there? Yeah. Little valve there that probably, I'm very suspicious of these kits, and there's been great talk of these on the internet, and I'll show you exactly what it will look like when it's finished. because I go over to my shelf and I have a completed one here. It's one of these. Now these are supposedly a buffer preamp that has 2 valves in, and the idea is you plug something like a CD player in there and the output goes to your power amp. You run it off 12 volt AC and it's just it's supposed to warm up the sound. Now this is primarily what got me back into doing electronics, because I bought one of these kits. I can't remember if it was eBay or Amazon. It was about 10 quid and it was another 3 or 4 quid for the plastic case, but that sowed the seed into me getting back into it, which is why it sits on my mantelpiece just as a decorative object. Now I'm not saying that this does anything wonderful to the sound, it doesn't, but it was a simple and satisfying project to build. So for that, I'm eternally grateful. Anyway, in here is probably the guts of the rest of it. Now, the PCB isn't there, but I think I did see the PCB in another box when I was flicking through this. So I'm just going to put that over there so it's out of the way. And then we'll look at what else is in this little bag. That's another valve base. Ooh, it's fallen down the side. Oh, this bag is not very good. Right, got a big chunky electrolytic there, and we've got some of these little project strip boards, the ones that don't have any wires on. I've never actually owned any of these, but well, I've got some now. And there's some more transistors there. We've got some metal spacers here and some nuts, and I'm not sure if they're part of that project or not. They might be, so I'm gonna put that into here. Oh, one of them's just fallen down the back of my sofa. Thankfully I've retrieved it. Oh, this is all very high tech, isn't it? I'm sure. Anyway, in there's some more. There's another one of those bolt things and another screw to go with it. So I should pop that in there. I mean, I don't know what I'll do with this. I probably will build it. I might even do a live stream of it, just as a simple project for somebody to throw together. But I've got one of these bags here, and I'm just going to fold this up and pop it in here just so nothing falls out, because as I say, I think that is more or less complete. It's just waiting for the PCB. But in here we've just got more capacitors. So if I grab this drawer of capacitors here and I'll just pop all that in there. Oh, there's a couple of resistors. I can go over there. But yeah, all these capacitors will go in there. Again, I shall sort those out in the fullness of time. Oh, there's a chip here, an IC here. That is a B647, so that's a MPN. I think it's an MPN transistor. I'm probably wrong, but hey. Right. And now we have, oh, what have we got here? Bits of hookup wire. I always keep odd ends of wire like this, and I keep them in a box so that when I need a piece of wire, I just go to the box and I use this rather than cutting off fresh. I know some people think, you don't do that, just keep it on a roll, but why waste wire? Now in here, we have almost exclusively oh, I've got another circuit board. We'll look at that in a minute. But in here, oh, what's that? It's a Schottky diode in it, or there was. It's an empty packet. But we have resistors, lots of them. And yeah, that's basically it. Just a bag of resistors. So all these resistors here, I'm just going to pop in there so that they're all together. And I'll keep that to one side. This circuit board is 2 actually in here. Let's see if we can work out what they are. They might be part of the same project. They look like they might be, actually. Milky Way. That says, ooh, EMV2 flanger. So we've got a flanger, and we've got a pedal called a Milky Way. And that's a DFX PCB. Is that Dead Astronauts? could be. And that's 2 more PCBs. So we're not doing too bad on the PCB front. We got a flanger, a Milky Way, an Echo Nightmare, and whatever this one is. So yeah, we got lots of things to play with there and build. Might pop them back in these envelopes just because it just keeps them tidy. And I always keep these plastic bag things as well, because if you're working on the project, sometimes it's quite nice just to keep things in bags so you don't lose anything. So yeah, that's all good. So that's all that lot done. And now we've got this crate here of stuff. Let's see what we've got here. Well, the first thing we've got is a box of capacitors. And I actually own a box very similar to this. I think mine's slightly bigger. But, you know, you pick these up for like 6 or 7 quid off Amazon. And it does give you a start. It does give you a stock to start with. Obviously, as you can see here, some of them have fallen out of their slots. So always read the capacitor when you take it out. Never assume that it's going to be the correct value, because sometimes these things have a habit of walking. Now then, what else? Excellent. These, I'm going to do a little demo here. I thought I had my screwdriver here, but I haven't. But these are the legs that go with this, so that when it's together, it looks like that. Now, as I say, I've already got one of these, and there is a temptation. If you've got 2 of these, you could be working on 2 projects at once and then you forget about one. But actually, sometimes it is handy if you're working on a project to have it all set up ready to go in the jig. But then if you run out of parts, then you can put it to one side and carry on with something else. So I will screw this back together in a minute, and then we'll have our little PCB mount there. Now, we've got some more of these boxes of bits. These are resistors. This doesn't even look as if it's been opened. I mean, it probably has. Yeah, it has. It's all a bit mixed up. But yeah, we've got more various values of resistors in this box. What I might do with the resistors is I might not stick them straight into my stock straight away, apart from the loose packets. And then when I do run out, I can just go to one of these bags and find out what I got. Or I might just sort them all out. I don't know yet. Right, we've got here 750 transistors. Certainly some more useful ones, like the 2N3904s. They seem to appear a lot in stuff. But yeah, 750 transistors. That's a lot. That is a lot of components in a very small space. Now, again, it would be tempting just to stick these, each value, into a little bag, because if you were to drop that on the floor, it would be a massive pain to find the transistor you're looking for. I mean, it should be, you know, fairly self-explanatory from that card. And I think actually the idea is you cut out the cards, because it's got a dotted line, and then you can stick it in the, I don't know, in the bottom of the pack or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's a nice little little box of transistors there. What have we got next? Well, what's this? It's a box of resistors. It's another box of resistors. Again, these have all come straight from China, because they've all got Chinese writing on them to make this. Bojack, whoever that is. I can't quite work out how they got all of this into the one box though, because it's fairly full. But actually, if I'm a bit careful, if I just push that together, it will close. So yeah, 1,000 resistors there. So again, this was probably about 10 quid off Amazon or eBay or somewhere. However, when I buy resistors, there's various retailers. I mean, there's someone in England on eBay, whatever value resistor you want at 1/4 watt, they do 100 of them for £1.29, including delivery. So at prices like that, sometimes it's just cheap. It's cheaper to even buy the values you actually need, rather than buying bumper packs and always not having the ones you don't need. More resistors here. Again, all useful values: 1K, 4K7, what's that, 6K8, 510 ohm, yeah. These all look very similar to packs that I've bought in the past. So I certainly don't think I'd be needing to buy any resistors for a while. That being said, I probably will not have the value I need when I need it. Here's that. This is cute. Look, I wonder if it works. Little multimeter. Yeah, that works. Has it got continuity test on there? Yeah, down there. Let's see what the beep sounds like. Oh, it's a slightly higher pitch beep than I normally have. Yeah, I mean, anyone that's doing any form of electronics, a multimeter is kind of essential. And also, it's got like a transistor tester thing here as well. Has it got a capacitance tester as well? No, I don't think it does. Just diode, continuity. Oh, it has got up to 200 microfarads. So yeah, it can do capacitors as well. That's handy. That's handy. Anyway, yeah, I mean, these things you can normally pick up for not a lot of money. I mean, the main multimeter I've got, again, that was an Amazon thing of about 20 quid. This probably didn't even cost. That is probably about 15 quid. But, you know, it'll do 10 amps of current, although these wires would not take 10 amps. Well, they might do, but you're not going to be using this for measuring high current. If you're going to measure high current, then you'd want something a bit more substantial. But for continuity checking, which is what you do most of the time with this, ideal, absolutely ideal. Another PCB. What have we got here in PCBs? This is I can't even read that. Diet signal. Right, it's got volume gain and blend. So it's death by reverb. Oh, it's reverb pedal. PCB Mania reverb pedal. Ah! Now this, I think, is the pedal that goes with this module here, this Acutonics reverb pedal. And it's got a row of pins here to go with this. So this is in essence the sort of amplifier, the preamp part of it. And this is what actually does the work. Ooh, this is exciting. This is exciting. This is something else I'd quite like to build sooner rather than later. So I'm going to put the PCB and that module together. And it's even got space for the switch. I think you could probably even put one of these, one of these switches might mount offside on the pedal. I'm not sure. I will look up their website and see how you build this, because again, I've not built a reverb pedal before, and I'm curious to hear what they sound like, and it doesn't take up much room. So yeah, I'm gonna build that. Right, 2 more PCBs, because the other thing is I'm very tempted at the next All Living Fear gig to use a pedal board made just of pedals I've assembled or designed and built. I think it'd be quite fun. Right, this is a fuzz pedal. It's a 2 transistor fuzz pedal, a couple of diodes somewhere, and an LED. Yeah, that's a bog standard, you know, fuzz facey type pedal. And this is Love 45, it's called, and it's got a bias control, 3 diodes. One of the diodes is probably a protection diode. 2, yes, yeah, so this is some kind of fuzz type pedal as well. So basically 2 PCB Mania fuzz pedal circuits there. They'll be easy to build. And as I'm looking through this, I'm kind of getting the idea that he probably bought the smaller boxes for things like the fuzz pedals and then the bigger boxes for things like the reverb and delays. Okay, here's another PCB. This is called Chopper. DFX pedals and kits. So again, I'm not sure if this is based on the Hummingbird. And yeah, I don't know what's supposed to mount here. Oh, there we go. So we've got a transistor there, a switch there, in, out, level control, mode control, rate, depth. Oh, rate and depth. So could this be a chorus? Could this be a phaser? Well, if it was, there's not many components on that. So yeah, again, I don't know. Oh, what's written on the packet? No, it's nothing to do with the PCB, unfortunately. Right then, another PCB. What's this one? And Guitar PCB Mania Fire Fuzz. That's very similar to the this board here. In fact, oh, that says Fire Fuzz as well. I just didn't read it right. So we've got 2 Fire Fuzz pedals. So anyone wants a pedal called Fire Fuzz, I could probably build it for you in a mini pedal. Get in touch. Although this was made on the middle of September 2022, so there might be a possibility that it's already been done by the time you watch this video. Okay, knobs and pots, lots of them in one of these boxes, and some jack sockets. I'll pop that jack socket in there. And then knobs and pots. Well, these will all go in a tray of one of these big, like a big one of these, and it's called knobs and pots. However, it's getting very big. I might need to decant them into 2 trays. Here, more knobs and pots and a jack socket that's been used, but you know what? It'll get used again because I don't like wasting things. All of those can go in with the other knobs and pots. Now then, what's next? Right, here we go. I was looking for this. I knew I'd find it. This is that is the PCB to go with the valve preamplifier kit. So I'm going to pop that in there. Again, that'll get built at some time. Premium guitar parts. There's a capacitor and a resistor. This is obviously some sort of tone control for a guitar. Probably a home repair job. Packet of nuts and washers for pots. Oh, now this is cute. These are trim pots, and actually I don't have that many trim pots, and they're really useful, and they turn up all over the place, and actually quite often on things like the Look Mum No Computer Cosmo synth modules. So yeah, that's great. They're going to be handy. Now, I do know this was in here, and you're going to look at this and you're going to think, what is that? Is that a Cyberman outfit? Because it does look a bit like a Cyberman, but it's not. And I'll tell you what it is, because it goes with this. And this could be something very useful for me. There only seems to be 2 sets of lenses, but in essence what you do is this clips in here. It's got a switch with a light, and basically it's a set of glasses for working, like reading glasses, and it's got a light on the top. Now I'm not sure if this will fit me or not. I'm not going to try it on yet. I don't even know if you can adjust it or not, but it does look like quite a useful bit of kit. Let's try it on and see. Yeah, there you go. I look like a bit of an alien in it, but it does work. And yeah, because you know, believe it or not, I'm actually 50. You'd never think it, but yeah, I'm actually 50. So it's got a set of lenses in here. Well, it's got 2 of them. I might find some of the others. Who knows? But yeah, that's actually a tool that when I saw this, when I was looking at this set of kit, I thought, oh, actually, that's actually quite useful. So that's going to be going in the shed very soon. Now we've got another jiffy bag and another printed circuit board with one of those switch ones again, but I think that came with this. Now this looks like Death by Flaming Ring. That's another, there was another one of those. I think that's probably a ring modulator. And interestingly, I think the guy who I bought this off, I think he obviously bought the same pedal more than once. And I can't help wondering if he got 2 for 1 or whether he just ordered them by mistake. Ah, this is quite sad. That's obviously a first attempt at soldering a pedal. And let's have a look. Yeah, it's not great, but it's not terrible. But yeah, there are a few shorts on that. I can see why he probably gave up, which is sad really, because if he'd started with one of the fuzz pedals, I reckon he would have finished them all off, to be honest. Trust me, I need to write this down. I don't know what this is. electricfx.com. I don't know if anyone knows who they are. But what have we got? Delay, volume, delay it's called. And again, I think this is using a PC2399 chip. There's an op amp there, an op amp there, an op amp there. Well, I'm guessing they're op amps. Yeah. Again, I will build this, but what I will probably do is take off all the components that are there and start from scratch. But yeah, I can't see it not working. Okay, the next box is this. Now, this is a box of diodes by the look of it. And there's some really big ones. I mean, look at those. They're massive Schottky diodes. Lots of them. Rectifier diodes, 1N4003, 1N4004. 6 amp rectifier diodes. I mean, this is obviously a kit of diodes, and he probably thought, I'll just buy a box of diodes, and, you know, for 10 quid. 1N5158, 1N54. And you know what? You got probably as many silicon diodes here as you're ever likely to need for a lot of things. Recovery diode. I don't even know what a recovery diode is. Schottky diodes. I remember talking about them in college. Yeah, but yeah, big box of diodes there. Certainly if I'm going to be building a project and I'm not using a 1N4001 or whatever it is, signal diodes that we all use, whatever I need will probably be in that box. Again, you know, a few quid. In fact, there's some signal diodes there at the bottom. What are they? Let's see what value they are. Well, I'm saying they're signal diodes. They might not be. They might be Zenas or something. But I think it's a signal diode. Oh, it's a switching diode. 1N4148. Yeah, well, they appear in pedals all the time. So, yeah. Another box here that's got an address on, so I can leave it upside down. Okay, in here we have got... Right, that's some more of these that are the pedal PC switch PCBs. I'll just pop them in there. Then we got some bits of wire. Pair of tweezers. That's quite... Oh, they're pointy. They're tweezers with pointy ends. That's quite cool. That could be useful. That's another pedal switch PCB. And well, in here we've got some pots, pedal switch, and some jack sockets. Again, I think this might have been the start of a project, getting all the bits together and sticking them in the bag. These are some leads to go with the multimeter. I think this is to use it as a thermometer, but I'm not sure. Or it's just got a wire or there's a probe. I have no idea. I've never bothered using. You get these are things you always get them inside the packet with a multimeter, but you never use them. Anyway, I'll stick that over there. In here we've got some suppression capacitors. These are biggies. Oh yeah, they're nice big chunky suppression capacitors. These are the sort of things that would go across the mains on a on-off switch on a unit. They're also used in things like Revox tape machines have some chunky capacitors like this on the servo board for the motors. And we got some more resistors. They can go over there. We've got some chips. What are these? Let's have a look. RC4558. Oh, there's a big old chip here as well. And some sockets to go with them, and a couple of transistors and an LED and an LED holder. I think that, again, that was put together to build a project. And this looks like some computer, looks like a computer power cable. Yes, some sort of computer power cable. Right then, last few bits in this box. Got some 7805 regulator, 5-volt regulator, always handy. Some transistors, a couple more packets of resistors, and a bit of paperwork. Actually, I'm wondering if these are triad magnetics, power transformer PCB mount. Ah, I think these triad, yeah, that's what these are. So these are transformers in this box. and they're impedance matching transformers. So I think they could be something to do with a reverb circuit or something like that, or something else. Maybe one of those PCBs might even be a driver board for a PCB, for a spring reverb. If I take this out, yeah, we'll have a look in here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, these are the transformers that you will find in like a reverb unit. And you sometimes see them in amps as well, to drive the reverb. Anyway, now we know what that is. I'm going to put the paperwork back in there, and that's all now complete. So yeah, I'll look up and see what that is. It's got something to do with one of those boards, and well, again, it could be another future project. Last thing we have in this collection of stuff is this, and these are some crock click cables. Now, have to say, these are probably a little bit too big for doing, you know, pedal making, but certainly for any kind of amp repair and stuff, you know, if you want to hook things together, they're ideal. And we've got a nice little variety of colours. So we've got blue. Let's try and untangle this mess, because, you know, I don't like things messy. In fact, I might even get a, I think I've even got somewhere like a cable hanging rack that I think was in one of the studios at work that they decommissioned, and I pulled it out the skip. I think it's really meant for jack plug double end cables, but I'm sure I could modify it for this. So yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 of these, and yeah, they're going to be useful. So I'll coil those up, stick a releasable cable tie on them so I don't lose them, and that's it. That's the lot. And here we have a veritable feast of bits and bobs that I will now appropriately decant into various places in my storage facilities in my shed. And with a bit of luck, some of these projects hopefully will turn to fruition. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit against the norm, and it's you know, it's one of these things you probably find it more interesting to watch while you're drunk. Anyway, if you stuck with me, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.